Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video I'm going to be covering Bloodsport. He made his first appearance in Superman Volume 2, Issue number 4, that was released in April 1987. And although there's been 3 different iterations of the character, we'll primarily focus on Robert DuBois, who was the original and most well-known person to carry the title. He's a human male that stands 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighs 231 pounds, having brown eyes and black hair, although at times he's kept his head shaved bald. Now, neither Robert nor any of the other Bloodsports have had any discernible superhuman powers. However, Bloodsport does have access to extremely advanced technologies, being capable of teleportation, in particular having instant interdimensional access to a huge arsenal of advanced weapons and armament, which literally appear in his hands whenever he wants them to. And so far, the only thing that could limit his conjuring of weapons is what he can imagine. This being said, he's obviously a weapon master and marksman, in addition to being very proficient at unarmed combat. Now, we first see that decades ago during the Vietnam War, Robert was drafted into the US military, but decided to dodge this and run off to Canada. Unbeknownst to him, his younger brother Michael would report in his place, then being sent off into combat where he lost both his arms and legs. The guilt of this would drive Robert crazy, with him spending multiple years in and out of psychiatric wards in Canada, mostly due to his obsession with the Vietnam War. Eventually, Lex Luthor would use Robert's fragile mental state to condition him into blaming everything on Superman, and would then equip this madman with a huge arsenal of advanced scientific weapons, several of which fired Kryptonite rounds. Taking on the name Bloodsport, Robert would then go to Metropolis in search for Superman. He was so delusional at this point that he was going around claiming that he and his brother went to Vietnam, and would even open fire on random civilians, claiming that they were wasting the freedom that they fought for, which unfortunately took out more than 24 people. But when he finally came face to face with Superman, he would best the Man of Steel, dropping several Kryptonite rounds into Supes, who was luckily saved by Jimmy Olsen, although Bloodsport would manage to continue his rampage. Superman would once again go to confront him after receiving medical attention. Yet, despite all of this, the only thing that stopped Bloodsport from detonating a power pack that would flatten 10 square miles was the arrival of his brother, who convinced him to turn himself in. Now, years later we would see another Bloodsport come onto the scene, a supremacist named Alex Trent, who had this same type of teleporter grafted into his body. His mission to ethnically cleanse Metropolis would ultimately be foiled by the Daily Planet's Ron Trope, who would find and destroy the warehouse that Trent's weapons were being teleported from. This event would lead to both the old and new Bloodsport meeting when they were both transferred to Stryker's island, fomenting the racial tensions at the facility. But for some reason, the warden thought it would be a good idea for the two to fight each other in a supervised boxing match at the prison, which Superman strongly recommended against. And what do you know? Supes was right, and was luckily there to intervene after the situation got serious, as Trent managed to use his grafted teleporter to bring new weapons into the ring, sparking a huge armed riot at the facility. This would seemingly spell the end for both Bloodsports, with Robert being taken out as he attempted to escape, and Trent being taken out by his own brotherhood for failing to deliver a decisive win against his predecessor. However, about a decade later, a new mysterious Bloodsport would appear on the scene, using the same technology and costume, but acting more as a superpowered mercenary than a deranged ideologue. This Bloodsport would eventually find his way into the hands of Amanda Waller with the Suicide Squad, acting as an efficient multiversal recruiter for the Task Force X. Now, due to his abilities and his influence on the DC Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Bloodsport a rating of 5. Which is an enigmatic rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.